Hello girls, I hope you're staying safe at home. Now in the last upload, we were talking about the eye in the chapter sense organs. So today we are going to start with accommodation. Now what do you mean by accommodation? Accommodation means viewing objects in a very sharp focus. You will see the object clearly. So in order to see the object clearly, the image must be in sharp focus in both the eyes. So the definition of accommodation is the process of focusing the eye to see objects at different distances is called accommodation. So this is brought about by a change in the curvature of the elastic lens. If you remember, the lens is hanging in your eye just below, just behind the pupil. Pupil is the hole through which light enters. Okay, so what happens, the shape of this lens, it changes. For distant vision it becomes long and thin, and for near vision, for nearer than 6 meters, the lens becomes more convex or it becomes more rounded. So this is how the distant and near vision is possible. Now these changes that you see, either the lens is becoming longer and thinner or it is becoming shorter and fatter, these changes is brought about by the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles are circular. It is circular, so it will pull the lens accordingly. So under normal conditions, the ciliary muscles are relaxed. The lens remains stretched. It is stretched, by the suspensory ligaments, and it is less convex. That means in the normal conditions, our eyes are suited for viewing distant objects. But when we are to look at objects which are nearby, near the eye, you want to read something, the ciliary muscles, I already told you, they are circular, they will contract and they will pull the ciliary body forward. So what happens when the ciliary body is pulled forward? It releases the tension on the suspensory ligament and makes it loose. And the lens, because I already told you the lens are elastic, because of its elasticity, it becomes thicker and more rounded or convex, and the nearby objects are clearly seen. Next we move to light and dark adaptation. Now when you pass from a brightly lighted area to a dark room, like in a cinema hall in a sunny afternoon, you have to go to watch a movie, and a movie hall is very dark. So for some time you will not be able to see anything. Even it will be very difficult for you to watch where you are moving, the steps. You will not be able to see the seats. You will not be able to see the people sitting around. Okay, but slowly the vision improves. This improvement in the dark is known as dark adaptation. That means now your eyes are ready to view in the dark. So this change is due to the regeneration of the visual purple or rhodopsin, that is the pigments of the rods. If you remember, okay, it was broken down due to bright light. This visual purple or rhodopsin, that is the pigment which is found in the rods, are broken down in bright light. Okay, so it will be regenerated in dark light because they help you to see in the dark. Okay, then next is dilation of the pupil. The pupil will become bigger so that more light can enter the eyes. Okay, and now supposing you finished watching the movie, the cinema hall is dark, and now your eyes are adapted for the dark. You need to move to a brightly lighted area, like when you come out from the cinema hall after the noon show. What happens, for some time the sun is shining bright, there is dazzling effect for a short time, but after some time again it will come back to normal, because now your eyes are ready for light adaptation. Okay, so the adaptation, again, it is because of the opposite changes that takes place. The visual purple, which was helping you to see in the dark inside the cinema hall, will become bleached, and it reduces their sensitivity, because in the light the rods do not have any work. Okay, the pupil constricts, it becomes narrower to reduce the amount of light entering the eyes. And sometimes when you come out, you'll close your eyes, you partially close your eyelids, and dazzling light in the same way, it also serves the same purpose. Like sometimes, you know, when someone flashes a torchlight in your eyes, you will close your eyes. Now next we come to color vision. Now color vision is possible only through the cones, and you know the cones work during the daytime. Okay, and the cones of the retina which are stimulated in bright light. Now if it is a moonlit night and you are in a garden, if you look around, there are different colored flowers. During the daytime, you will make out the variously colored flowers, but in a moonlit night, you will see the flowers, but you cannot make out the different colors like red, violet, or purple colors, because at night the cones are not functioning. It is the cones which give you color vision. At night, what functions? The rods function, and the rods are not responsible for color vision. Now next we move on to the common defects of the eye. The first one is near or short-sightedness, also known as myopia. Okay, maximum you need to use the biological term. Remember that. So it is a condition in which the near objects can be seen clearly, just like the word suggests, near or short-sightedness. Okay, so you can see objects which are nearby while the distant objects appear blurred. So in it, the image of distant objects is formed in front of the retina. You can see in this diagram how the image is supposed to be formed here on the retina, but the rays are intersecting here, so the image is formed in front of the retina. Okay, so what are the reasons for myopia? There are two reasons. First, the eyeball is lengthened from front to back. It has become flat, okay, like as if you have squeezed it, or the lens is too curved. Either of these two reasons, or sometimes even both the reasons may occur together. Okay, so the correction of short-sightedness or myopia is done by using a concave lens. Okay, diverging, the rays of light are diverged, and then it will again converge inside the lens. So you can see how the rays of light goes into the concave lens and it diverges, moves away a little bit, reaches the pupil, okay, passes through the pupil, reaches the lens, and again it converges to the right spot where the image will be formed on the retina and the vision will be clear. Okay, so your first assignment for today is to write down the reasons for myopia and draw these two diagrams and how it is corrected. Okay, now I already told you correction is done by using a concave diverging lens which causes the rays to diverge before they strike the lens of the eye, and most of your friends who use spectacles are suffering from myopia if you ask them. So power of the glasses mentioned is in minus. Okay, now next defect is far or long sightedness, which is also known as hyperopia. The old term was hypermetropia, but nowadays it is known as hyperopia. It is a condition where there is difficulty in seeing near objects. Okay, just the opposite. Long sightedness means you can see distant objects and you do not see near objects. So in it, the image of the object falls behind the retina, as you can see here. Actually the image was supposed to form here, but the rays are not meeting here. So if you extend the rays, it is going and meeting behind, somewhere behind. Okay, so the image which falls here is blurred. Okay, so what are the reasons for hyperopia? This is spelling is wrong here. This defect results on account of either shortening of the eyeball from front to back. Okay, from front to, it is just the opposite now. It is not squeezed, you can say it is pulled, or the lens is too flat. So what is the correction? How is it corrected? The hyperopia, it's not high, this spelling is wrong. Okay, so here in this case you can see in the diagram here, a convex lens is used. When we're talking about the lens, we're talking about the lens which is fitted in the spectacles or the contact lens. Okay, so a convex lens is used here. Now the convex lens will converge the rays of light. If it is coming from the object, the rays of light, it will converge, move towards the pupil through the lens, and the image will be formed right on the retina, and your long distance or hyperopia will be corrected. Okay, so this is the next assignment for you this week. You'll write down how long sightedness or hyperopia, this is the correct spelling. Okay children, hyperopia is caused, and how it is caused and how it is corrected, and you'll draw those two diagrams. Now next defect is known as astigmatism. So this is a defect in which some parts of the object are seen in focus while others are blurred. Okay, some you'll see clearly, but some parts of that object you'll see blurred. And this is due to the uneven curvature of the cornea. And how is it corrected? By using cylindrical lenses. Next is presbyopia. Okay, it affects older people who cannot see near objects. That is what I suffer from, because as people age, the lens loses flexibility, resulting in a kind of far-sightedness. And far-sightedness, children, you know, is corrected by using a convex lens. Okay, the next type of defect of the eye is known as cataract. You all must have heard about the word cataract, where what happens, the lens turns opaque. Opaque means no light can pass through it. It becomes solid, and the vision is cut down even to total blindness, and it is corrected actually by operation. It is surgically removed. The lens are surgically removed, and then spectacles are given with highly convex lenses. But nowadays, in a new technique, a small plastic lens is implanted behind or in front of the iris. Next is night blindness. Okay, so night blindness, as the word implies, is a condition in which a person will not be able to see in dim light, especially after the sun goes down during the night. This is due to the non-formation of pigment visual purple. You know, the rods form a pigment which is known as visual purple. Okay, and you know that it is only the rods which function in dim light. The cones do not work at night. Okay, so when the rods cannot form the visual purple, that is the rods which actually make them work, they cannot function. And this deficiency, children, is due to deficiency of vitamin A. So at night a person will not be able to see anything, and you need to have a lot of vitamin A so that visual purple, that is the pigment of the rods, are synthesized. Okay, and you will not suffer from night blindness. Next we come to color blindness. This is a condition in which some people by birth cannot discriminate between certain colors such as red and green. Okay, and this is a genetic defect. We have done that in the genetic chapter, if you remember, where only males suffered from this defect, but it rarely occurred in females. Females were only carriers, if you remember. Okay, next is corneal opacities. The cornea of some patient, okay, some people, it gets scarred and it turns opaque. The cornea only turns opaque, white in color, and it becomes non-functional. Person becomes blind. So such defects can cause from minor, sometimes it may be minor irritation, vision problems, and it may lead to complete blindness. So in that case, what happens? The defective cornea must be replaced, and it is replaced by a healthy cornea, but from a donated eye. Now next is squint. In this defect, the two eyes somewhat converge, leading to what is called the cross eye. An opposite condition appears when they diverge, and it's called the wide eye. Either the, the black portion of the eye, they come together towards the nose, or they move far away, causing a squint. So these both these conditions will cause double vision, which is known as diplopia. What is double vision known as? Diplopia. And the only way to correct these defects is by either surgery or by suitable exercise. Now next we come to stereoscopic or binocular vision. Now all monkeys, apes and especially human beings can perceive depth. You can look down and say how deep it is. What is the height, how high it is. Okay, so this is due to simultaneous focusing of an object in both eyes. Simultaneous means it is focused together by both the eyes, and their images by kind of overlapping in the brain, and it gives the three-dimensional effect. That is why you can see 3D, you can watch 3D movies. Okay, and please try this, read this activity and try this activity at home. Okay, and you can do this activity as well, and then you can check whether you are colorblind or not by reading the numbers which are inside these circles. Now next we come to after images. This is the basis of motion pictures. Now if you look at a bright object for some time and then close the eye, the sensation of light persists for a short period. That is, you look at bright light for some time and close your eyes, you will still see that bright light even after closing your eyes. So this sensation of light, it will remain even after you close your eyes for some time. So if in the same way, if you look at a brightly colored object, say supposing fluorescent red or fluorescent pink, you keep on looking at that object and then you move your eyes to a dark some dark surface, you will still see that fluorescent red or fluorescent pink color on the dark surface. So this is known as persistent image or the after image, and this after image lasts for a very short time, that is about 1/10 of a second. Okay, so this is the principle on which the technique of motion pictures are based. Now in a movie, what happens? Pictures are projected on a screen at the rate of about 24, very quickly, one after another. So in 1 second, 24 pictures are projected on the screen, but we will not be able to see each frame. We will not be able to see 24 frames only together, because an after image is formed in our eyes. Okay, so you must have seen in these science centers and all, no, after images, that you rotate so many pictures, and then after some time when you rotate it quickly, you'll just see one image. Okay, so it is this only. So the lifelike continuous movement on the screen is an illusion. Actually, it is not what you see, it is something different. Even the television works in the same manner, where the scanning beam of a picture frame of the TV camera moves very quickly, so rapidly on the viewing screen of the TV set that our eyes cannot keep on in pace with it. Okay, it cannot keep pace with it. So all the pictures will overlap and you will be able to see only one image. So there are so many optical illusions nowadays. You must have seen it, you must have received it on WhatsApp, isn't it? Images. So at the end of the chapter you will see optical illusions. There you can see at the end of the chapter, sorry, here you have one more this thing. If you want to experience an after image, try this at home. This is interesting. Okay, so out of many optical illusions, 2 are shown at the end of the chapter. Turn your books and see at the end, you will see the optical illusions, and that type you must have seen many. Okay, so with this we come to the end of today's upload. Till next time, until we meet again, children, stay safe. God bless you.